All right, what's up, YouTube? The fight is over between Adam Kownacki and Chris Arreola. Uh, the fight lived up to the hype. The little bit of hype that it got. It wasn't a big fight. I didn't see a lot of people talking about it. But it was a great matchup. Chris Arreola is pretty much the older version of Adam Kownacki. You know, both brawlers, no defense, throw a lot of punches. Chris can fight and box a little bit, but Chris Arreola in his prime, younger, earlier 2000s, Chris Arreola was all about throwing a lot of punches and brawling out. This is the kind of fight that he likes. And it was a fun fight. It was a straight 12 round phone booth fight, brawl, no defense, over 1,000 punches thrown. It was one of those kind of fights. Um, I thought they both had a fast start, but I thought very early that Kownacki definitely had an edge in punching power or the edge in punch resistance. Okay, let me say that. Um, Chris Arreola just can't take the punches. He's been around a lot longer. He's taken a lot of punishment in his career. He's been stopped before, um, and he's 38 years old, man. Um, I know I've listened to his interviews. I heard him say that he would consider retirement after this fight. I know the boxers don't want to stop fighting. I get that. Whether it's financial reasons or whether it's because they just want to continue fighting. Um, Chris has a lot of heart, very respectful guy in person, very great. I met him a couple of times. He's always great. When I run into him, he's always great. Uh, but I personally would like him to retire. Just the fact that he lasted 12 rounds, taking that many punches at this point in this stage of his career, and he actually came out all right. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was watching, especially the first 3, 4 rounds. I was cringing watching the fight because what's happened recently with the death of two boxers, and whenever that happens, you kind of like you want everything to stop sooner. You don't want to see nobody getting beat up and hit too much. You know, at least with me. It's been I don't know I don't know about you guys, but for the last couple of weeks, watching fights, you're just like cringing now because you just don't want nothing to happen to anyone. I think I get that same effect like if I get into a car accident, even if it's just a fender bender, at least even if it's a light accident. When you get your car back and when insurance covers it and you get it back from the auto shop and it's all nice and clean, you're driving different. You're just thinking about that car accident. You want to get into another one. You know, especially a New York driver. Like New York City drivers are the worst. But anyway, yeah, that's how I felt when I was watching the fight. I actually thought Kownacki was going to stop him. There was a few moments in there that he seemed to really hurt Arreola. Arreola didn't really seem to ever hurt Kownacki. It's just that Adam was getting tired at some points. So whenever he slowed down the pace, Chris would take over. Um, but overall, Kownacki clearly won the rounds. He won the majority of the rounds. I think Chris might have won actually two, maybe three tops rounds if you giving him that. But it was a good showing for Chris. It was just that they both were punching each other all around long. It's just that Chris uh, didn't take the punches as well as Kownacki. And I know he, you know, was complaining about some hand injury throughout the fight. Okay, so I don't know the details of that. I didn't hear the full post-fight interview. I heard the very end of Chris's interview where he was basically saying that he was considering it. He's not really sure. Obviously, he can still fight, and you know what? Kownacki has been on a tear. We saw what he did to Jared Washington. We saw what he did to Spilka. He went 12. I think he went 10 rounds against Chris Martin. So I'm sorry, Charles Martin. But he's definitely picking up some good names, good like gatekeepers, like good guys that has been in the ring with top fighters, champions, and stuff like that. He's picking up good wins, some stoppages, some distant fights, but he's picking up the wins, and um, I think he's trouble for even some of the elite fighters at this point already, because if you can't knock him out, I mean, he's a big guy. And Chris Arreola is a big guy too, a big, heavy guy. But when the fight started, you, you clearly saw the difference in their size, even though they're like around the same height. And I've met Chris, like I said, I've been around him. He's a really, really, really big guy. But Kownacki looks so much bigger than him. The extra 20, 25 pounds or whatever, he weighed more. You see the difference between the two, you know? But Kownacki, I think he's dangerous for anyone, only because if you can't stop him, if you can't really, really hurt him, you have to box for a full, 10, 12 rounds. And it's really hard when a guys just keep coming forward, throwing a lot of punches, and have the punch resistance that he have. I think he beats Dominic Brazil. That would be another fun fight. I think he would beat Chisora if they ever were to fight. I'm trying to think of even Dillian White, and I know he's going through all this mess with the drugs and stuff. I don't know if he's going to be clean. I don't know if he's going to be clear. I don't know. But I'm just saying, as a boxing fan, matchup wise, I think even Dillian White would have a very tough time fighting that guy, because if you get to a point to where you're brawling and exchanging and you just can't completely outbox Kownacki or hurt him, I don't know what you're gonna do. Tyson Fury is a guy that might even have a trouble. You never know. I think he's dangerous for anyone. Wilder, anyone. Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua. I think Kownacki's tough because he looks like he has a great chin, and how tough is his chin? Even if Wilder gets in there and Wilder is not able to really, really hurt him, you gotta have this. How do you stop this guy, especially if you don't have a huge arsenal and variety of punches? This guy just keeps coming, and he hits hard, and he attacks the body as well. And he seems to have pretty solid conditioning. We see him. I mean, these guys are heavyweights. They're gonna get tired here and there. But he never had a full round where he didn't do anything in this fight. He just went 12 rounds for the first time in his career. And he was punching until the very end. So I think he's really legit dangerous for anyone. Like I said, it's all about who can hang with him and outbox him for 12 rounds and survive. There's not too many people that's going to be able to do it. And at the same time, who is out there that can actually hurt him. You saw how many punches he just took from Chris Arreola. I'm not saying Arreola is the biggest puncher, but he is a puncher. He is a puncher. All right, but Chris Arreola is cool. Good for him. I really regret not going to the fight, because I like the Pascal Brown fight for the amount of time that it lasted. I didn't see the Curtis Stevens fight, but I did see the weigh-in. He looked like he looked good. I mean, I think he always belonged at 154, but apparently he didn't have a good night tonight. But it was a good fight. It was a good matchup. If you like old, just straight brawls with two guys just banging it out for 12 rounds, this was the fight for you. I wish I ended up going. Kownacki has a huge Polish following, and there's a lot of Poland people here in New York, especially in Brooklyn. That's where he's from. It seemed like a lot of them came out. Looked like it was just a good, fun fight. Nothing major, not top card or anything, but it looks like it was a good, fun fight. I wish I regret not going. All right. But yeah, anyway, Kownacki, dangerous for anyone. And eventually he's gonna get his shine. I want him. I think he's beaten, the Gerald Washingtons, the Spilkas, the Arreolas, guys that's been in the ring with champs, guys that were at a contender at one point, solid opponents. Now I'm waiting for him to step up a little bit, I know Ortiz is scheduled to fight Wilder, and then Wilder's going to fight Tyson Fury in 2 fights. So I don't know where he goes in that place. I know before Andy Ruiz beat Joshua, that was a fight that I was asking for, because I saw the call out, and I think it was Andy that called him out, Well, I don't know if it was Kownacki that called him out, but he was like two fat guys, just brawling it out. That would be a good fight, after, the whole situation. Well, I don't know what all of that's gonna go with Ruiz. Right, we're still waiting to figure out where this fight is gonna take place and stuff. It seems to be really messy right now. But Kownacki, I want him to step it up a little bit, just a little bit. Let's get one of those top 8 guys in the mix now. Top 10 guys. All these guys are good. Let's get a top 10. No guarantee a top 15, top 10 guy in there. I would like to see Kownacki against one of those. I think he's tough for anyone, dangerous for anyone in the heavyweight division. All right, I like him. I like him. And as far as Chris, like I said, listen, I know these fighters still want to fight, but I would like him to retire healthy. He looks like he's good. He took a lot of punishment. I just want him to retire. I don't want nobody to get hurt, man. Especially a guy that is not a defensive fighter. Guys like a Bernard Hopkins was able to last a lot longer because he knows how to move away from the punches and not you know take too many shots clean, not too many clean shots. So, and I know he's nowhere near Bernard Hopkins' age. I'm just giving an example, man. Uh, Arreola is not a defensive fighter, and he's not getting any better. I just don't want to. I don't want him to be carried out in the ring in a stretcher or anything. Like, listen, you got it all here still. You know what I'm saying? Just get out what you can. While you can. Hopefully, financially, you're good. And just get out, man. You had your opportunities. You fought for titles. You fought for titles 3 times. You had your opportunity. So it is what it is. All right. That's it. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow to catch up on some of the other things that took place this week. Make sure you guys subscribe, donate to the channel, and drop your comments, thoughts. Who would you like to see Kownacki fight next? What's your thoughts on Chris Arreola and his future? Let me know in the comments. All right. Peace.